Hello, friends. We're about to wrap this week up. We're pretending it's Friday's Eve or Thursday, and this would be the 20th. Okay, and Thursday, as you have all, undoubtedly, because you're so super grammar savvy and trying so hard to do what's right, you've already looked at Thursday's notes, you've looked at your sentence, and you've done your best to put the punctuation and do your editing marks in there, right? There are examples of editing marks on Thursday's notes, okay? But we'll get more used to doing this as we go along. Okay, so we're always gonna capitalize the first letter. I like the movie Clueless, and we're gonna capitalize Clueless because it's the title of a movie. Hopefully you know that large works like movies get underlined or put in italics. Remember, large works, if you want to pass, poems, articles, short stories, and songs are examples of little works, and they get quotation marks. And chapters, essays, things like that get quotation marks. Larger works, like a whole movie or a whole book, would get underlined, right? I like the movie Clueless. It is based on Jane Austen's novel Emma. Now, we know that we can't just glue two sentences together, and we can't put a comma there because that's called a comma splice. So we don't want to do that. So one good thing is you could put a semicolon would work here. And then I don't even have to capitalize this. This is exactly one of the situations where a semicolon is very appropriate because you have two sentences that share a common subject. We also know that it is a contraction, right? We need to remember the difference between it is and it's possessive. Usually if something is possessive, then you get the apostrophe, but not in this case, right? And this is one of those exceptions to the rule. You know how English has so many exceptions to all the rules have exceptions. So many rules, right? The rules have rules. It's based on Jane Austen's novel, and this is the name of the author. So of course we're going to capitalize her name, and then we do have one of these possessive situation. It's her novel, Austen's novel, so we put that in apostrophe, novel Emma. And again, large work, we're going to underline it or put it in italics, but that's kind of hard to do on a printed sheet. So we're going to underline that, and we're going to put our period at the end here. Make sure we didn't miss anything. Okay, again, these are essential appositives. Novel, Emma is an essential appositive to renaming novel, and Clueless is an essential appositive renaming movie. They are essential because they're proper nouns, and we have to know what novel we're talking about, what movie we're talking about, the movie. Jane Austen's novel. She did write more than one, but still, if it's a proper noun, it's a good clue that it's an essential appositive. And in that case, we do not offset it with commas. But if we said, I like Clueless, a movie by Jane Austen, a movie by Jane Austen would be now become a non-essential appositive, and you would put commas around that. Okay, be mindful of that. All right. Then for our vocabulary, Thursday's vocabulary. Ostentatious. Oops. It was already right. Okay. If you look at the inside of this car, it's very ostentatious. What would be a good synonym to describe that? Fly, super cool. No, maybe if you like that. Maybe if you love this, maybe you have a gold-plated toilet at the house or something. I don't know. Anyway, gaudy might be a good word. Showy, pretentious. The ostentatious socialite wore her mink fur coat even during the warmest of August days. Now that is suffering for fashion, right? Here's a fun fact. Did you know that a flock of, a group or a gathering of a flock of peacocks is known as an ostentation? Like you have a murder of crows and an unkindness of ravens, right? You know, so anyway, a flock of seagulls. There you go. A lawyer must have great blank in discussing matters that could violate his client's rights. So what is a word that means that, someone who has discretion? And the word is reticence. Restraint in speech, reluctance to speak. I'm moving kind of quick. You can just pause it on here and make sure that you have this in your notes. Remember, it goes in the vocabulary section of your notebook. Please keep up with that. I will check it when you come for your in-class meetings just to make sure that you are staying organized. For those of us who are not naturally organized, we have to work at it a little every day, right? Here we have a teacher giving praise to a student. That's always a good thing. A teacher's job is not just to point out mistakes in a student's work, but also to praise the student's achievements. So we know we have a verb here, and it's laud. Think applaud comes from the same word base. A laudate would be like a medal that you might get in the military that doesn't necessarily come with a pay raise, but it just shows that you have made some achievement. A laudate. Extol is a good word, a good synonym for praise. All right, here we have the blank son squandered his inheritance, and it's prodigal. Prodigal actually means someone who is not very good with money, someone who is wasteful and deals in extravagance. If you know the story of the prodigal son in the Bible, he goes off and takes all his father's bread and spends it all and wastes it, and then he comes back, and what happens? His father accepts him and throws a big party for him, much to the older son's chagrin, who did everything right, and can't understand why the dad would shower the black sheep son with all this praise. But I think the lesson is that parents love their children no matter what the circumstances, and he's exercising a little grace and forgiveness, right? And then we have my main man Chet Atkins here playing his Gretsch double cutaway hollow body 6-string guitar, picking some country tunes, no doubt. Jazzy, country, western swing would really be the genre. Fans of all genres of music revere the jazzy finger-picking style of Chet Atkins. He's got the finger picks on, he doesn't use a flat pick. Revere means it's a verb, to honor, regard, or hold someone in high respect, okay? And Mr. Delamar reveres students who spend time every day looking at their DGP and their vocabulary and flipping through their notes every day, not just to regurgitate it onto the test, but to be proficient with it and to use it in your speech and your writing as much as possible, right? Have a great day.